Or shot fire, officer down, shot fire, officer down. Got a city officer down, shot fire.
223, be advised, we have a visual on enemy paratroopers at grid Papa uniforms.
Welcome to the Resilient Warrior Nation, a podcast dedicated to inspiring hope and healing for first responders, military veterans, and anyone facing PTSD and trauma.
What's up, guys? We're getting a gym session in at Wolf Gym in Boca Raton. This is my man, Danny Alvarez, Florida State Representative. If he looks familiar, it's because he's been on a podcast before. He was on, I believe, last September. We were on location then at Pop Popular in Boca Raton. Went so well, we've actually since become friends, which, from a hardened cop of 30 years, who's not exactly a fan of most politicians.
Neither am I.
Disingenuousness and two-faced boldness. Let me say that I am shocked at how genuine of a man this is, and the fact that I can call him a friend is mind-boggling to me, and I truly mean that.
Thank you.
I want to thank you again for being on here, brother. Truly an honor.
Appreciate it.
As you can see, he's jacked as well. This is not your typical politician in any way, shape, or form. Danny's an Army military veteran as well, so we're going to be discussing his career in politics, his military career, just everything, touching on everything. So typically I go chronologically, but I'm going to jump around today. We were talking about the fact that you train like 5 a.m. I've been overwhelmed with a lot of stuff that I have going on right now. All good, I can't complain. You are an attorney for the PBA of Tampa, a politician, you have a family, motivational speaker. I mean, I go on and on and on. How do you do it? How do you not get overwhelmed? How do you fit your family in as a priority?
For me, it is the discipline of consistency gives me peace, right? So when I don't have my structure, like, you know, Army guys, cops, we love structure, right? And in fact, that's where I get my solace, right? So when I know that every morning I'm going to the gym, that's where I can release any of the pent up tension and anxiety and worry from the day before goes away, and it actually kind of calms me and cools me. It sets the day. It's like making my bed every morning, making the gym, you know what I mean?
Nice.
So we try to do that, but now we're 50, so it used to be every day we'd go. And so now we work on recovery and, you know, rest and all that stuff and maintenance. So about 3 to 4 times a week we're in the gym, and we just try to hit it as hard as possible.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm turning 58 in August, and it was tough. I was sitting there like 5 days a week, just recovering from a partially torn tricep, but you know, I've been giving myself grace, like maybe every other day, 3 to 4 times a week, still hitting it. We have all this muscle memory. We've been training our whole adult lives. So the thing is, don't get down on yourself.
100%.
As you get older, you're not going to be able to do as much as you've done in the past.
100%. You know, like as we look around this gym, like you'll look at some kid and he's pretty jacked, and you're like, and as we stand right here, I'm like, I'm going to smoke that kid right there, right? And then you just got to remember, like, that kid recovers immediately. Will have like 6 pizzas tonight and it not affect them. We have 6 pizzas, like the lactic acid or lactic, you know, the lactose, whatever might bothers. So for us, it's about just being comfortable in your own skin, right? Making sure you know who you are. You've done it all. We don't need them. We don't even need to prove it to them.
Yep.
You prove it by showing up here, because in our age group, how many people aren't here? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you take the victories where you can get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really care what anybody else thinks about me, but it feels good to know that I'm here and I can smoke it and they can't. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you still look great. And that attitude translates to everyday life.
Right.
Like, who cares, other than your close family and friends, do you really care what anyone thinks about you, period? Because it does not matter.
Mike, let me tell you something. The only people I care about, that what they think about me, are my kids. If my kids think I'm a dirtbag, then I'm done. I just want you to know that. Like, so oftentimes in politics, I'll make decisions going, this is going to hurt me, right? But my kid is going to think I did the right thing, right? And so, you know, people try to like persuade you, and I'm like, hey, what would my son think? And if he thinks his dad's a dirtbag, I ain't doing it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You can't control me that way.
Exactly. That's a powerful morality to have.
Yeah.
Let me get a quick
let's go.
warm-up set in here. Oh.
All right, then. Here we go. Our goal today will just be to build. We'll do like 6 to 8 and like challenge yourself, and then if the last two are at least some sort of difficult, we're good
Sounds
to go.
good.
Yeah.
It's your world today, Danny.
Hey,
Just a squirrel trying to get a nut.
We won't get crazy. I'll have to remind myself of all the things I just told you when I'm trying not to go nuts.
Oh. Both of you walking out of here injured.
Yeah, no joke. We can't have that.
No, we can't. So we're doing a gym session today. It's gonna be a long day, busy day. After this, we're going to Big Dog Ranch and Rescue. We're gonna be having a podcast, Resilient Warrior Nation podcast. I'm gonna be hosting Danny, second Florida State Representative Meg Weinberger, and then one of the lead trainers in the veteran dog program at Big Dog Ranch and Rescue, Ron. So I'm super excited about the entire day. And additionally, my cameraman that does all the tech, Justin Yarbrough, retired police officer himself, newly retired, congratulations. He's got the Donut Shop podcast, is gonna be with us throughout the day. And then Danny, after that podcast, so we're going here, we're doing a tour at Big Dog, we're doing my podcast, and then Danny is doing just his podcast prior. So the fact that this man gives all this time is mind-boggling to me. And so appreciative.
Nah, no big deal. You guys served, and we just serve in different ways. Good job.
Exactly.
So Justin and I know each other from back in police land. So we both had a class at Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office where we would both had the same job at our respective agencies.
And
He did it a lot better than I did.
How modest is this guy? Excuse me. 25.
How's that weight?
Good, not bad at all.
All right.
These bumper plates screw me up
Why?
because they're just, if you compare them to steel weights,
yeah.
they look like they'd be so much heavier. These
yeah.
quarters look like 55s.
All right, we'll try and do 60 seconds rest in between, so just get it going.
Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by Cutting Edge Testosterone Therapy, a veteran-owned, family-run clinic led by a retired first responder. At Cutting Edge, they help men and women rebuild strength, focus, and vitality through advanced hormone therapy, peptides, and performance-based weight management. Whether you've served your country, your community, or your family, Cutting Edge helps you get your edge back safely, professionally, and with people who understand what service takes out of you. Cutting Edge offers individualized care with no monthly fees or contracts. Learn more at cuttingedgetestosteronetherapy.com. Cutting Edge Testosterone Therapy, built by those who serve for those who still do.
Good form. Look at the quads and calves on this guy. Schwarzenegger will be jealous. I know I am. Sweet.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, on the podcast, I'd like to point out that Mike Morgan is currently in violation of Gym Code 7.95, the Happy Gilmore rule. So his shorts are at least 17 inches too long right now. We're gonna work on it, okay? I'm gonna send him some 5-inchers, minimum.
I used to wear a Speedo here, but I was warned several times.
Speedo
that I would lose
violation
my
of
membership.
1976. We are never wearing Speedos ever again.
Now I'm going the opposite end of the spectrum. They almost gave me a criminal trespass warning if I came in with it again.
He said criminal trespass.
I didn't want that order of protection.
I love that. All right, how much you want to go up?
You tell me.
No, sir. We just talked about it.
Throw maybe another quarter on. I should be good with a quarter.
Okay. So that was number 2 that we just did?
Yes.
All right, so we got 2 more after this. Do a quarter.
So I have a spinal fusion. I have to be careful with some of the exercises I do. So important caveat for you guys, especially as you get older. No ego lifting. I want to walk out of here feeling as good as I did when I came in here. And in the past, mostly in my younger days, did some stupid stuff, trying to prove to people that you're stronger. You know, you're cheating on your exercises. Look at this form right here, perfect. His muscles are under tension the entire time he's doing this exercise. That's exactly what you want. You'd rather be doing lower weight, having those muscles under tension rather than cheating, taking it off, and then putting all that tension on other places that should not have it.
All right, you're going for 6 good ones. Come on. Good job. Good job.
So Dan, tell me about the guy you were before the military, before politics. What type of kid were you growing up? How was life?
I was weak and scared, and it's no joke. Every single time I've ever done something, it was me biting off something that I shouldn't have done, but I was just trying not to let fear control my life. So I have 2 regrets in life. One is I didn't play high school football. So I'm at a football game. I've got this smoking hot date, right? And we watch this guy on our team get smeared, right? Like destroyed. And he gets up, he takes his helmet off, and he grabs the guy by the, and says, "Is that all you got?" And he throws at him. I'm like, that's the nerd from our chemistry class.
Really?
That guy plays football? I literally asked the girl if she could find a ride home, and I went home in shame. And I said to myself there, I was like, that feeling of having let fear control me, I was never gonna suffer that at my hands ever again. So, you know, after 1992, so I graduated in 92, 92 is Somalia, I watched that on TV, and I said, those are Americans. You're not gonna do that to us. We gotta do something. And my parents are Cuban, and, you know, always wanted to give back, so I jumped in the military. I thought I was gonna be a truck driver. You know what I mean? And like the more I'm I'm thinking, I just wanna serve. I'm like, the dudes in World War II didn't have a choice, you know what I mean? They got sent to the infantry. So I volunteered for the infantry. Right. And I volunteered for Airborne school. Then, so everything, but I gotta tell you, when I was there, my brain was cashing checks that my body was not ready for. So everything was 10 times as hard as I should have made it, right? So after that, I just said, never again, I'll never let fear control me. So the guy you see now is not the guy. And so like I see it like it develop in my sons like at the beginning. Yep. And then I didn't have anyone to foster it out and help like bring out like so I do that with them and I try to bring it out. The second one was I got accepted to the FBI and I was going like next week, right? That was the cat. And my wife at the time said, if you go, I don't think we're gonna make it. Danny Alvarez of today would have said, I'll see you at graduation or I'll see papers. You know what I mean? Like, you just tell me. And then for some reason, I said, you know, my family's important. And that was like the wrong decision. But it, again, was another chit in the stone there. And I never now go away from who I am, right? I know, like your gut tells you, you know, what you're supposed to do. And so when I go around teaching people or talking about leadership and anything like that stuff, like your gut is like, right, you know what I mean? Follow your gut. And so those are the things that, you know, so that's who I was. It's not who I am.
Important lessons. Number one, authenticity. You feel in your soul every decision you make, whether it's right or wrong. You truly do. Number two, fear. Every single person on this earth is born with it. Whether or not you let it dictate you or you dictate it is a conscious decision.
Do you think it's natural to jump out of an airplane? No. Listen, bro, like our first jump ever, we're all infantry guys, so nobody can show any fear, right? So we're all like, well, and we had fallen asleep because we're going around so many times. When they opened the door in the cold air, if you could almost like see it come and hit the guy in front of me. This dude was jacked, he was Ranger, he was scared out of his mind. I was like, if that guy's scared, I'm out, I'm scared, right? Yeah. And you still go, you know what I mean? Because it is just one of those things, you cannot let it control you, you know what I mean?
It's you against you.
It's you.
That's what it comes down to, no matter what the other guy does.
That's exactly right. All right, let's get this in.
Fun fact, I was going to be an FBI agent myself, passed the written, passed the oral board, failed the polygraph, although I didn't even lie.
No way.
Didn't even lie, that's the funny part about it. Let's go. Nice.
Dude, on my poly, so I had never done drugs, no marijuana, no nothing. I don't even drink. I never have drank, right?
Really?
And so the guy's like, you understand there's a poly after this, because that was a pre-screening. We polyed for 3 hours, right? On the same questions.
Yeah, I mean,
it was horrible.
No one's this much of an angel.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing if you have done things that are wrong?
That's right. They're like, come on in.
They'll accept you easier than if you never did anything.
I think the lesson is don't lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
you can't have like done like hardcore drugs, but. All right then. All right, you got one more in you?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do one more.
Absolutely.
And then we'll transition. This place is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful gym. I love it. Hardcore too. So now, how did you get into the, what's the name of the parachute team that you were on in the Army?
That's called the Silver Wings.
Silver Wings.
So
how do you find yourself there?
So I was the second in command of the company that they fell under. And they were very smart guys. Like, you know, in the military, it's all rigid. You got to have your hair up, everyone. And these guys were like the showmen that were showing off the abilities of the military, especially Airborne school. So they brought all the officers to come in and do a familiarization jump. I had only done static line jumping at that time.
Yep.
And it was the greatest thing since sliced bread jumping under a square. And afterwards, when everybody else was gone, I was like, hey, I'm joining the team. And they're like, no, you're not, sir. You know, in no way. Like, you have zero, like, you're a danger to yourself. And that was true.
Right.
It was true. And I said, well, you will make me a not danger to myself. So they thought about it. They saw that I had a really big mouth. And the least favorite job on these jump teams is the narrator. So you'll jump in first. You'll jump with smoke on your ankle, come in, grab a microphone and put your beret on and start the show while everybody else. So that's what they're like, if you'll do that job, we'll teach you. And I said, yeah, I'll come on board, no rank. Like, I was a captain, I said, no rank. I'll be a private on this, which was great, not having to make any decisions.
Oh, yeah.
And those guys taught me to do things that I honestly, that we shouldn't have ever been there.
Really?
You're supposed to have like 500, 600 jumps. I jumped into my first ultra tight, you have to have a D license in civilian world to do it, at 75 jumps. I jumped into an area like this big, grabbed the mic. I was shocked that I actually made it, for the record, and grabbed the microphone, and the rest was history. So it was.
That's amazing.
It was amazing.
So how many jumps do you have under your belt now?
Only 225.
Really?
Like think about this. One of the picture I have in my wall in my office, we're celebrating my team leader's 1,000th jump.
Wow.
He retired like 3 years ago from the military. 16,000 jumps because he went to the Golden Knights. We were all going to the Golden Knights. Yeah, 16,000 jumps. So.
Oh, so there's a step above the Silver Wings?
Oh yeah. So the Silver Wings is the original. It's like the first parachute team of the military, and then the Golden Knights is the one for the entire Army. So we were the feeder team into that.
Gotcha.
So the majority of our guys that stayed in parachuting went to the Golden Knights.
Okay.
So.
You go to Halo School?
No, I didn't have to. I didn't have to go to.
Did you want to?
Oh yeah, I did.
That looks like one of the best schools you could ever attend in the military. Oh, you. Look at that vascularity, folks. Guys got veins where veins shouldn't even be.
All right.
Human anatomy book walking around right now.
This guy is great for my ego. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hire you to walk around me. You don't suck, Danny. All right, good to go.
Yeah. So now you get out of the military
Yep.
in 01, right?
And then go where?
What month of 01 did you get out?
May of 01. So
May of 01.
So I am 9/11. I am in a uniform. I mean, in a suit instead of a uniform, and I'm with my boss. And literally, when the towers hit, I was like, I quit. He's like, what? What do you mean you quit? I said, we're going to war, and we ain't gonna miss that. And so I called my old unit, and they're like, it'll be 8 months to get you back in. I was
Really?
like, remember, like the last war was like 100 hours before it was over, like Desert One.
Desert Storm, yeah, 90.
I was like, I can't.
8 months.
What if we're done with this war? Who would have thought
20 years.
My nephew was 9 that day. He's got 2 deployments under
Wow.
GWAT, you know what I mean? So,
That's crazy.
all right, what's next? What do you want to
You
do?
call it.
Let's do hams on a machine.
Okay.
Are you good with that?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, take me to the machine.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, I can't imagine the feeling of getting out just prior to.
Can we do this one? Does that hurt your back?
No, it should be good.
Because this one hurts my back.
Okay,
Is that okay? Sorry, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't imagine getting out at that time, and then the feelings you must have had about wanting to go back in and not having to be trained up again. Why 8 months? After so many years.
So I was a captain. First off, they didn't know what they were going to do, right? They were like, knew they were going to war, they just had no idea. Then they want you to go, I never did something called the Captain's Career Course. So like it's a rank qualifying course, so they were going to send you to that. That's a long time to go, right? Then you got to get assigned to your new company, then you got to train up on, so.
Yeah, so sitting in class is the last thing you want to be doing then.
Yeah, while the boys were going, you know what I mean? How do we do this? All right.
You want this thing out? You want this closer?
Yeah, let's figure this out. There you go. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome, son.
Let's just warm it up.
So now you transition out of the Army. How was that for you? Loss of identity? Struggle a little bit? Anything?
It was freaking horrible, you know?
I went through it, and after that police career, 30-year police career.
You go from, like in my mind, I thought I was cool as hell. You know what I mean? I'm jumping out of airplanes. I'm hanging on helicopters. I'm like, working with America's finest, you know what I mean? And I go from that to being a pharmaceutical rep, asking doctors to prescribe my medicine. Nah. Bro, it was so bad one time. I couldn't put my pants on one day. And that's when I knew, I was like, this ain't working.
Right.
Like I literally physically am looking at my pants and I'm like, get on. You know what I mean? Please, put your pants on. And so.
It's amazing, that career. And no matter how well you set yourself up, I don't know, hopefully Justin doesn't go through this, but it's just loss of purpose, loss of self. I was thinking about it the other day, and I've been thinking about it a lot over the past 2 years. My healing journey started. You're no longer part of that tribe. You're no longer part of that tribesman. When I went to work every day, people needed me. No one needs me anymore. And I have a master's of BU in criminal justice, so I was planning on teaching at at least a community college.
That's right.
I got my firearms instructor license, so certification, so I was planning on teaching firearms and tactics. So I thought I had myself set up. And man, I was in for a rude awakening.
Yeah. 100%. So, one of the worst things is when a former cop interacts with a current cop, right? What you want to say is, hey, I was just one of you like 6 months ago. And the current cop's like, cool, you're not allowed to do, you know what I mean? And you're like, wait. Cool, right? And then you realize how the train moves on without you, you know? And the other people that have a super, super hard time are the people in command staff, right? Think about it. They walk around and like I used to tell them, hey, you're colonel today. Tomorrow you're retired. This machine will not even remember you. You know what I mean? 1 year later, and people, I used to work at the sheriff's office, and they're like, you did? I mean, you're like, what do you mean I did? Did 30 years.
Yeah.
They
as soon as you get off that train stop, man, it's over.
So there's an important part about, like, I think as we teach new kids the resiliency of, look, I love that you're a cop. I want you to be a cop. It's an incredible service, right? But it cannot be your entire identity.
Exactly.
For you and me, like, I feel like being a soldier was my entire identity for a long time. For you, being a cop is like everything.
And I tried not to make it such.
Right.
But it just becomes that.
It was part of our fabric.
Yeah.
But now, if we can teach, when I say kids, I'm not being demeaning. When I teach the new guys, like, hey, listen, you're a cop, but you're really a father that's a cop. You understand that? Like, it's inextractable. You can't like stop the weave of, you and your badge. I understand that. But life will move on. So you got to prepare yourself to do it. Just like you prepare to work out, you prepare to shoot well, you prepare to train well. It has to be a focus.
Yeah. And for the sake of honesty, I drive a Jeep Trackhawk, which is quite fast. So I've probably gotten pulled over about 15 times since I've been in Florida. And every time I do, the way my ID is printed, it's just like kind of stamped into it that it says retired, so it's not across the face. But every time I give it, it's like it almost feels like I was never a part of it.
I know.
30 years, man, and it goes like that, and it's my former self.
Yes.
And I had trouble giving it up until, I've spoken about it a million times now. Psychedelics
Yep.
was part of my big healing journey, and my first ayahuasca journey. They call it Mother Ayahuasca, and essentially the universe was talking to me, Mother, and I said, please, I need help. Like, I can't, I'm not at peace right now with it. And instantaneously, she told me, you're no longer that. You did your best.
Yeah.
You helped as many people as you could. The torch is handed over to the younger guys. Be at peace with it. And I was instantaneously at peace with it.
Well,
it
that
was
makes me
one of
happy.
the most miraculous things I've ever felt in my life.
Good.
Yeah, truly. But there are guys who eat that 9mm lifesaver because they just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just. Actually, this is good.
Oh, you want this to come down?
Yeah, let me put this. So now you go from pharmaceutical rep. What's your next step?
Then law school. I have no idea how I made that mistake.
Really?
Like legit.
Did you say mistake?
Yeah. So I remember telling my wife at the time, I was like, "Yo, I'm not selling. If I have one more doctor walk away from me midstream, like as I'm talking to them and showing them respect, I'm gonna choke somebody out." You know what I mean? You'd have, in the movie where you actually do it, but it doesn't happen. That would happen on a daily basis. So. Since I was not going to do that anymore, we had to have a plan to try to make as much money as we did then.
Yep.
So I thought mistakenly that law school would be the thing. I love being a lawyer in the.
So it was a monetary decision as
It was
opposed
a
to something that was in your heart.
Yeah, it was I actually applied to med school, chiropractor school, law school, and that's the first place that answered. So
Looking back now, which do you wish?
I probably would have
they
rather
done?
gone to med school.
Med school?
Yeah. And I've been around a lot of doctors. I mean, it's tough. I'm not saying it's not tough, but I think that would have been pretty satisfying, a challenge on helping people and stuff like that. So, but that's the twist of life. Here we go.
So your advice there: don't chase the money.
Don't chase the money ever.
Yeah, I think if you chase your love, the money will come.
100%.
Because you may get that money, but at what cost?
Yes.
Let's go, you.
So, the proof is in the pudding. I had my own law firm.
What was the area of expertise?
I did business law. I have 2 law degrees. My second law degree is in estate planning and tax. So I did all business law. Then I did some personal injury. I taught business law at the University of Tampa for 9 years. But when we got a new sheriff, I had been a super volunteer at the sheriff's office at that time.
Okay.
And he said, hey, come on board and help me. And I was like, absolutely. I shut down my law firm in 3 seconds.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
My deal was, I'll come help you, but I get free access to the agency and I get to run with the boys. And he's like, whatever you want. I was like, no, you're not hearing me. I'm gonna run around with the boys.
So what did that entail? Ride-alongs?
No.
Training?
No. Because the second that you had an employee ID, everyone was like, you don't need no waiver. So I did human tracking class. I fast rope class with the SWAT team.
Nice.
Bomb tryouts, dive tryouts. You name it. We did. And we did stuff that if I wrote a book about it, you'd be like, no civilian. No, that's a lie. And it's probably better that it stays that way.
Yeah, back in the day, man, you get away with that stuff.
Just for the record.
I don't even want to say some of the stuff we did back in the day,
100%.
man. Oh, my Lord.
But, and that's where Justin and I met, because I had 2 roles there. I was the chief comms guy. I built up the agency, went from having a corporal who was the PIO to a 12-man unit that put out the story of the sheriff's office, which is vital, right? Because in this day and age, if you aren't telling the story, someone else is telling it for you, and cops can't afford that. You know what I mean? We just can't have that, because there's so many bad people out there saying the wrong thing, because they want to get away with stuff that you let them tell the story, you'll have no cops, and the cops you have will be doing nothing but answering 911 calls, because they will be sitting under trees waiting because they're not going to be proactive.
Yeah, nothing proactive.
So we did that, and so that was the one part. The other part that I did for the sheriff was we did kind of like political advice and kind of guidance, because he was a cop. He got appointed by the governor. Good dude. He had been appointed by the governor and didn't know the people he didn't know. So that's part of where I came.
Yeah.
All right,
it's definitely a political position, man. You could be.
Oh yeah.
It's great when you see a guy ascend like that from a cop's perspective.
Yep.
But listen, you're a politician at that point as well. And the things that you can and can't say. And like you said, man, the misinformation that gets put out there like that, I don't understand. Like some of these organizations, don't take a proactive approach on correcting the narrative.
Well, it's old Coplandia, right? Think about it. Like it is. Let my actions and my words speak for myself. I got 6 arrests. That should tell you I'm doing my job. I don't need to show off. In fact, we tell cops, don't show off, don't talk. We are the implementers of policy, not the makers of policy. Right. But everyone in this gym has an Instagram account. They're all trying to tell you about their life, you know what I mean? And so that's the way they process information. So if you're a chief that's stuck in a world that says, let my work speak for myself, nobody's hearing it because nobody's telling them what the work was that you did, right? So times have changed. We now have guns with enclosed emitters. You know what I mean? We have lights now, right? Why we have level 3 retention. We didn't used to have that 20 years ago.
No.
Right? So everything changes. Like we modernize life. So modernize life.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Ready to move that way?
Yeah.
All right, do we have anything to wipe it down, or we just move on?
I've never seen anyone. I don't even think there are wipes to wipe down here.
All right, let's rock. Ready, Jess?
Danny attempted to wipe.
Thank you.
All right, so we're in the Hillsborough PD.
Right.
What's now the transition from there to politics?
So at a sheriff's office, there's only one shiny thing. You know what I mean? And the sheriff and I are great. There was no problem then, but you realize like I'm on TV all the time. I'm talking all the time. I'm like, it's his world, and my job was to transition him from cop into sheriff, and he's done a phenomenal job there, right? So my exit strategy there was, I love this law enforcement world. I love the enforcement side of the law, so I'm gonna run for judge, okay? So I run for judge in the last year. This is COVID, remember COVID kicks off at that time too?
So we're 20-ish.
So I run for judge and I am smoking it. I just want you to know, like when I go out, my opponent even said, hey, will you go find another race, please?
Really?
And I was like, yeah, this is great. But then COVID hit, right? So at that time, I was a 12-year attorney. I'd done a lot of good stuff, but she was a 30-year attorney. And so people didn't get to see us. They had to go look online on our websites. So website to website, she's smoking me, you know what I mean? And rightfully so, right?
Yeah, she's got the accolades.
Bro, countywide, Hillsborough County is 1.5 to 1.8, depending on who you talk to, million people. It's bigger than Rhode Island. It's bigger than 11 states, right? Wow. So when you put your name out there, like at a countywide race, and you lose, you're like, dude, I suck. And so it took a moment. It took a moment to like be like, God, because like the chiclets from me getting my teeth kicked in, they were heavy, you know?
Yeah.
So reorganized then, I had to reopen my law firm, and then I was negotiating as the PBA attorney for the police in Tampa, but I also had Tampa Fire behind me because we were negotiating the forced injection of COVID.
Okay.
And the mayor hates when I tell this story, but this is how I was born. I'm just telling you, this is how I was born. So they were gonna try to inject my cops and I wasn't gonna frickin' let them. And so they're like, we're gonna make this science-based. I was like, thank you for saying that. And then I treated it like a trial. and evidence. In fact, the fire guys and the civilian union were both like, what Danny said, whatever he said. And ultimately, she said, I hear you, thanks for that. But it's my maternal responsibility. And I said, wait, ma'am. All my cops have moms and dads,
Exactly.
and you ain't it. You're the government, right? So remember I told you that my parents are Cuban? So in a Cuban household, you grow up with like freedom talk, anti-communist talk. It's like, here's your Fruit Loops, and here's your dose of the First Amendment.
Yeah.
Here's your dose of the Bill of Rights, because we had it stolen.
Oh,
my
my God,
parents
they're being suppressed their
Right.
whole lives.
So I called my dad and I said, hey, Dad, I finally get it. He goes, what does that mean? He goes, I said, I finally get it. I saw the enemy today. She wears a skirt. She very professional. I've had lunch with her, but she thinks she can control me, right? Because she knows better than I do about me and my children. And he goes, oh. And I said, not in this country. Brother, we got nowhere to run. You understand that? And that's, so if you see me when I'm like super fired up and passionate, it's because of that, right? So I got a call somewhere along the line, and I had been recruited before, and I was like you, I don't like politicians very much at all. So I was like, they're like, hey, are you interested? And I was like, hey, let's talk about it. And they're like, well, we thought you were going to say no. And I said, well, I'm pissed off. So let's talk and see yes. So there we go.
The fact that a vaccine was created within months of COVID breaking should have told everyone I need to know. Like, how did this happen that quickly?
Listen, and if you wanted to take it, I want you to take it. I don't give a damn if you take it. Don't try to tell me about it.
Yeah, it's your personal
I'll
choice.
make my decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But where did it come from that quickly?
Exactly. All right, I'm going to warm up.
Absolutely.
Sorry, sir.
Justin, do me a favor. Show everyone who you are.
Where?
Show everyone who you are. Just take a shot of yourself. I got to get my boy in here for a second. He's so handsome. Justin's the nicest guy in the world. Whew. I don't know if the internet can handle that. The whole body. Funny, I've never done alternate arms in my life.
You're about to find out.
Watch me fall off the end of the bench.
You want these to
Yeah,
work?
I'll grab those.
Okay.
What the heck? First time doing them. Thank you.
We're here to enlighten you.
Exactly. That is a great point. You can learn something new every day.
Absolutely.
I was an FTO before my career ended. I had about 27 years on before I got injured, 28 years, long-term line of duty. And I used to tell recruits as they were coming out, PPOs, you call them probationary police officers, just because I have this much time on does not mean that you can't teach me a thing or two. And
100%.
Guys would say something periodically. I'm like, God, that's great.
That's a good idea.
I'm glad you said that. And they were kind of surprised, like, what, just because I have a bunch of time on, I can't learn from you?
100%.
No, that's ego, man, if people say that or think that.
All right, Justin.
Oop.
Boom. No, keep them up. Keep them
keep it up?
Yeah, there you go. Let's keep that under tension. So you don't need to go as heavy as you might, like when you're normally just trying to like max out.
Yep.
When you stay under tension like this, it definitely works.
It's good advice for all the men watching this podcast. Keep it up. No pun intended. Yeah, it definitely feels different.
100%.
I like them. How many are we doing?
All right,
Dan?
we're gonna do 4, just like last time.
Okay, I think that was like
You'll do
10.
Yeah, you'll do 2 of 8. Then we'll go down, and each time we're going up.
Okay.
Right? You don't have to go up by 10s. You go
Yeah.
up whatever you want. And then at the last 2, we're gonna do 2 exercises of 6, but you want to make sure it's at least challenging.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna put that
Put
away.
those
I got
back.
it.
These.
All right, let's work.
Let's go. Oh, you. Come on. You got this. Nice.
You want this?
Yeah, I'll just grab those.
You know what's weird is not having like insanely angry music in my ears right now.
Brother, you want to hear something funny? Ever since my healing journey, ayahuasca, everything, I used to listen to the most hardcore rock, some rap, just get pumped up. I listen to the most mellow, beautiful music as I'm training. It's unbelievable.
As you're training?
As I'm training, it's unbelievable. I don't listen to anything hardcore anymore. Like, my entire life has changed. I was talking to a former Green Beret, Scott Ressler. He was actually involved in the ibogaine study in 2019 with Stanford University and Ambio Life Sciences in Tijuana. And we exchanged this beautiful music all the time. He's like, brother, ever since that journey, he's like, I cannot listen to anything hardcore. I have Navy SEAL buddies, same thing. My one buddy, Gabe, is a former SWAT officer in Reno. He's an Army vet as well. The stuff that we exchange is hysterical. I'm like, if people were to see this, they'd be dying laughing. But, you know, we've all found peace.
Well, so here's what's funny is I will write some of my best legal arguments listening to music that will melt your face.
Really?
And so my legislative aide was a good Ranger buddy of mine from the military. And he, when he hears the screaming music coming from my office, he completely knows, like, we're working. That's a very pretty ring you have, bro.
Thank you.
My date was an attorney for having Embed.
Oh, that's right.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So what'd you do? Roll contracts up? Or just got him out of jail?
Actually, a little bit of all that, yeah. But I managed musicians too for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, is there anything this guy hasn't done? Jesus.
Yes.
Anyone who we know?
Probably not. There's a band that I helped get their contract called Wage War. But the rest...
Sounds like peace. Kumbaya music.
All right, let's work. Come on now. Don't be a pussy.
You know? I apologize to everyone for my nipples showing, but the mic's pulling my shirt. Although I can see Justin keep staring at it, so maybe it's not all bad.
It's the tailor.
Let's go, Dan, all you.
You want this?
Yeah, you dump him right there. You just throw him on the bench.
Shit,
Actually,
I'm
now we're
sorry.
getting in, no sweat. So we're getting into politics now.
Yeah.
So your first run was unsuccessful. Get back into your law practice, and then what happens from there?
So I get recruited to do this, and when you run for judge, you don't get to give an opinion. And that was actually extremely hard during COVID because
When you say you don't get to give an opinion, what do you
you're
mean?
supposed to be neutral, right?
Okay.
You don't tell them you're a Republican, you're a Democrat. You don't tell them how you would rule on a case because you can't be predisposed.
So you're essentially running on your record and nothing else.
Yeah, hi, I'm Danny. Do you like me? You know?
Yeah.
So running as a state rep was completely different because I definitely didn't have to hold back. And what was awesome for cops and firefighters, I could actually say what I wanted now, right? Because like even though I worked for the sheriff's office, I was still properly limited by my fact that I worked for the government. Like we didn't have an opinion.
Okay.
But then when I went to work for the PBA and I was running for office, man, I could say whatever I wanted, and I thrived on that.
So it's time to get down.
Say again?
It was time to get down.
It was time to get down. Like people are like, hey, how come y'all shot him? Because he deserved it? I mean, when you point a gun at a cop, I don't know. You tell me.
It's amazing some of the fallacies that people believe. Why can't you shoot him in the leg?
Come
Let
on.
me tell you something. Grab a gun, just go to target practice, static shooting, and try to get that target. Now throw in a dynamic situation where someone's trying to kill you, and I've had it done to me. Got shot at with a 357. You're usually pumped up, your adrenaline is flowing. That target, he's about 25 yards away, is like this. Even if it's close up, I had a second situation where I almost got in a deadly shooting. Guy picked up a pipe, came at me, and we were probably about 6 feet away. To sit there and try and hit someone in the leg, first of all, you miss him, he's on you like that. Now I'm potentially get bashed in the head and I'm dead.
Yeah.
And never forget, I have a gun. So even if you're fighting someone and he's unarmed, essentially he's not, because if he gets that out, and yeah, a lot of times we have level 3 retention holsters, but these true perps, I've seen a bunch of FBI videos in prison. They practice defeating our techniques.
Yeah.
They'll practice searching each other. They'll practice, getting guns out. They talk about how to do that. So, people kid themselves.
Everybody goes home. You understand
Yeah,
that, right?
exactly.
That's the philosophy. So, I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? It is crystal clear. When you attack someone in a badge, all right, it may be Mike, the person, but it's the government. It's us that is being attacked, right? You're defying the laws and logic of society that's civilized, right? If you interact with a cop, right, and you attack that cop, I assume you're trying to hurt that. And based on what we've seen, right, everyone always shoot him in the leg. I'm like, every single time you see somebody, give them a benefit of the doubt, we have that person overwhelm and kill the cop.
Exactly.
Cops see that, right? These are lessons learned. You'd be dumb if you did not remember what you just saw. You know what I mean? I also say this, you see the new taser? The new taser has multiple shots. Why does it have multiple shots? Because that crap doesn't work half the time.
Oh, yeah.
And the more up north you are, the more layers you are. It's ridiculous. What I can't stand about modern policing today is the way that politics creeps in to the upper chain of command, right? So if you will always have my support, like a rabid dog, right? Because just because you're a chief doesn't mean you're not a cop, you're a cop. You lose me when you forget that you put your boots on and your pistol belt, just like they did for years, but now you will succumb to whatever the mayor says because he or she is some crazy liberal Democrat, and you sell your men and women out for your job.
Exactly.
Look at yourself in the mirror, man.
Exactly.
You have to live with yourself. And right now, with some chief is listening, they're like, oh, this guy, he can do whatever he wants. Screw him. Okay, screw me. I'm not the one that has to live with myself looking in that mirror, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Everyone will know that you sold them out. And in fact, we're at a point where I was going to try to write a law that said before a chief can get fired, the mayor can suggest his firing, and it has to be a overwhelming majority from the city council. So we cut. And that should give a police chief, listen, I'm going to do what the mayor wants generally because she or he is the boss. But there's a reality that you're supposed to be the translator from cop land, right? This is why we do what we do, and we're not going to change X to political land, right? That's why we pay you the big bucks, right? But when you forget your men and women, you sell them out, you'll never have me, and I'm coming after you.
Exactly. It's funny, you're talking about tasers. And I used a taser twice in my career. The second time is the craziest story. It's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. Got a simple rear-ender car accident.
No way.
I get there. The guy who got rear-ended is out of the car. Asian guy, and he just kept saying, he hit me. After about the 10th time, I'm like, all right, bro, I got it. So I look at the guy who hit him. He's still in his car, and he's got blood on his shirt. I mistakenly believed it was from the deployed airbag. I was wrong. So I said, you okay? And he starts telling me in slurred speech that he was all right. So instantaneously, I'm like, he's a tox. So
you said what? Wait, you said he's what?
I asked him if he was okay, and he responded back in slurred speech.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's drunk. So I'm like, how much you had to drink today? And I think he told me the ubiquitous 2 beers. So the call that I was handling was someone else's sector. They were on their meal. I picked up the call. I now told dispatch, have her come off a meal because you're going to have to handle the DWI. I'll grab the accident. My buddy was backing me up, so I go back to my car. He parks to my right. It was a right turn lane that was starting right there. I tell him what's going on. Second complainant calls in that it was a car accident with injuries. So now we get a fire department response. So the fire chief pulls up in front of everyone, hits a parking lot. My buddy goes to tell him what's going on. I start walking up the passenger side of the cars. I see this guy reach over, and he comes up with a knife.
Oh, God.
Starts stabbing himself in the neck. So what I thought originally was blood from the deployed airbag was he slit his throat. Now, also what I didn't know was that we arrested him the night before for DWI. He ended up fighting us. They parked the car in, I don't know why we didn't impound cars on all arrestees in Suffolk County, which is my second department. Atlanta we always did, which is my first. But they parked his car in the fire department parking lot. So he must have bonded out, gets his drink on, gets in his car, he's driving home. Gets in that car accident, would have been his second DWI in 2 nights. I don't know what else was going on, suicidal. So I run up to the car, tell my buddy, Frankie's trying to kill himself. He locks the door.
Oh, wow.
Run around to the front. As I run around to the front and look in, he's got the knife inside his neck. He's sawing it and pulling it away. So I go to open the door, he locks it. Now I always replace my flashlights with window punches. Boom, I nail it, it's beautiful. But the whole window folded over one shot, so now I can't reach in and open the door, and it's covering the lock, so I can't open that as well. So, you know, I have my wits about me. I'm pretty calm, but I'm like, all right, if I don't do something, this guy's gonna kill himself. First thing I thought about was going in the back seat. But I'm like, if I put myself in that situation, somehow gets a jump on me, and it becomes a deadly force, and they're gonna question why I put myself in that situation.
Right.
So I get my taser out, it's January, and as you know, the probes, 2 probes have to seat in the body.
Correct.
He had a really big jacket on, so I couldn't hit him in the jacket, it wouldn't have penetrated, so I had to go high. So one was in his neck, one was in his forehead. And it was so funny, because all I thought about was Rob Riggle and The Hangover. I'm like, in the face, as soon as I did it. But as you know, when you press the trigger on a taser, it's a 5-second cycle. And what happens is muscles contract. So now he's holding a knife, he's not letting it go. And every time the cycle would stop, now he's taking a knife and he's stabbing himself. He must have had 40 marks down his face. I don't know why he didn't put it in his eye, but he didn't. So now my buddy on the other side runs up to the car with the fire chief. They realize what was going on. Fire chief's got his axe, he breaks that window. My buddy hits him, neck and forehead on the right side. So we're alternating tasers, but he's still not dropping it, because every time it would stop, he's hitting it again. Now, this guy, the craziest thing about it was the entire encounter. He never screamed, never cursed, never made a sound. No sound from beginning to end. He never made a peep.
I want to scream and curse so this story can end. What?
It was nuts. So finally, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, he's gonna kill himself. I just take out my ass. I don't extend it, and I just start clubbing this guy in the head like a baby seal. He finally can't take the pain, drops it, opens the door, gets out, puts his hands behind his back. Didn't say a word the entire time. Never. We
Was he
transported
drugged
him.
up or something? Because he wasn't.
He had to be on something. I can't believe
Had to
this
be
is
on
just
something.
alcohol. But he ends up, he didn't hit anything vital. Of course he survived. If it was one of us, man,
No, 100%.
we would have,
You know how that is.
yeah, one little shot with his knife, we would have bled to death.
You know how that is.
Unbelievable.
What time do we have to leave here, boys?
Probably about, no, I would say 9:15 at the latest.
All right, you got 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right. All right, so this will be our last thing. Come on, Big Poppy. All right, so this is, we'll have one more after this.
Let's do it.
Good job, good job. So, you know, one thing we don't ever talk about really is like, because, you know, we're in cop land, but it is our fire brothers. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain it, right? Because we it's almost like family. I think that we can joke about them, but I don't like anybody else joking about it. You understand?
Yeah, we
that?
talk shit to each other, absolutely.
Because in the truth is, you as a cop will go to a scene and you'll see horrific stuff. But then your buddy over there in the other sector got the next call, right? Those guys see all the calls. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And so those dudes' rate of suicide and PTSD is then exacerbated by their horrifically planned sleep schedule, right? 1 day on, 2 days off. That's why I ran a bill. It didn't make it law, but it said the state of Florida prefers and suggests that you have 1 day on, 3 days off. Right?
Yeah, my father was an FDNY firefighter, and that's 24/72.
And the reason for that is simply, especially as we get older, you need sleep to recover and repair.
Absolutely.
All right? And so when you're a cop on night shift, well, you're screwed. You know what I mean? Like, you live in, but hopefully you reverse the cycle and you try to get your 8. We know in reality it's really hard.
Yeah.
But those dudes, day 1 home, mama's like, hey, can you cut the grass, get the baby, all that stuff. So their sleep's jacked up. Day 2, maybe they're getting, and then day 3, they're back on cycle. You know what I mean? And
Ridiculous.
Look, in today's environment, you may have less busy fire departments, but in bigger counties, like they're averaging like 20 calls a shift. 30.
Oh, yeah. They're running and
That
gunning,
truck
man.
is moving all the time. You know what I mean? So it's not a joke. You know, these guys are really at risk, and they're in our class of human. You know what I mean?
No, it's huge. At least my Suffolk County, my last job, midnight guys work 4 10s. So it'd be 4 on, 4 off. And even better schedule is our neighboring county, Nassau County, work 12. So they'd be
You're talking
two
about
on,
cops or
this was cop.
Yeah.
So they'd be like 2 on, 3 off, 3 on, 4 off. So that's a great schedule for midnight guys.
Yeah. So
Well, they did both. It's 12-hour tours.
At TPD, you do 4 on, 4 off. I like that schedule because there's a consistency there.
Yeah.
And truly, like, you can have a vacation with only taking 4 days. You know what I mean? You have a long haul.
Exactly. But
All
the
right.
problem is now guys are throwing overtime tours on there. So you work 1 or 2 OTs
You're totally
a day.
right.
Now, you're cutting your rest in half.
That's right.
And, listen, there's a price to pay. There's a reaction for every action you take in
Yep.
life.
All right. You ready to spot me on this last
Yeah,
one?
let's do it. Pull you.
Halfway.
There we go. Nice. You should have had this on the whole workout.
That was good.
Me
That
too,
was
my
really
bad.
good. So this shirt I'm wearing is from the union of the fire department of the county we're in. So,
Now, do you do anything as far as representing those guys? Or you're
well, not as a job, really as a state rep.
Okay,
Listen, don't mess with my cops and firefighters. You'll be fine.
no doubt.
It's serious. He's got gear now.
What a difference a brace makes. I don't know why my dumb ass didn't have us on the whole time.
Good job. Just throw him down.
Oops.
All right, so that's a wrap.
Whew. All right, we got it in, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that gym sesh. We're off to shower up, get a little...
Not together.
Yeah. Damn. First disappointment of the day. Damn. I guess I can tell my wife she can come home now.
That's right.
And then we're off to Big Dog Rancher Rescue, getting a tour. And then Danny's doing a double podcast. First with me, then with Justin. So that video will be following this one. Hope you guys tune in. Hope you had a good time getting to know Danny a little more. Brother, thank you.
Thank you.
Once
Thank
again,
you.
great training with you.
Get it in every
Yeah.
day.
Order, shot fire, officer down, shot fire, officer down. Got a city officer down, shot fire.
223, be advised, we have a visual on enemy paratroopers in grid Papa uniforms.
Welcome to the Resilient Warrior Nation, a podcast dedicated to inspiring hope and healing for first responders, military veterans, and anyone facing PTSD and trauma